Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of XRP, taking a look at the most recent price action and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button, I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications so you do not miss another video update. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, you are missing a trick. Keep a finger on the pulse of crypto by joining us down in our Discord server. It's the first place that we go to notify you of everything that is happening in this space, so stay well informed. Okay, let's make a start with this analysis. XRP paired up with USDT on the 1 hour chart, and Binance is our data source. And following on from the last video that we had here, we were looking at some form of progression to the upside. Okay, so we have the lows at 30 cent down here, which fortunately for me, I had a buy order at 30 cent and Binance loves everything to the penny. So that was great. We obviously saw this come up 20%. We've corrected down. And the idea here is that we pushed up higher. Now, I'm starting to have some concerns with the time and length that it's taken for us to move out of this area just here. This kind of demand area here. Okay, it's taken quite some time and we were actually correcting the stochastic RSIs a fair bit. So let's take a look at those, right? So on the 1 hour chart, I'm not overly too fast. We're nice and oversold. We can come up. It's when we get into the higher time frames that this problem starts to arise. So we go into the 4 hour chart. You can see we've still got a lot of correcting to do here. On the 8 hour chart, very much the same story, still loads of correcting. The 12 hour up high as well. So again, can go up higher, obviously. Most of those time frames, the 4, 8, and 12, they can, of course, all go up into the overbought area and stay up there for a while. It's just, it makes me a little bit nervous when we start seeing all of these stochastic RSIs high like they are. Same with the 16 hour, 20 hour, and of course, our daily is in a midway position, could go in either direction. So I am a little bit nervous about thinking about progression to the upside on XRP when the momentum is basically saying that we have to move down, not up. So we'll see how things kind of go here. Technically, I was aiming for 32.79. So if we do come down a little bit more, that's not the end of the world. Even if we do come down a little further here, within the B wave structure before moving on up, it's okay. It's not the end of the world if that's the case. Just makes me a little bit nervous because I was hoping that we'd actually be holding this low area here as our demand area. As you can kind of see, we touch on this and then we start to move on up. So still possible that we have that run. It's just making me nervous with the fact that we are high on some of those timeframes with the stochastic RSI, and that coupled with Bitcoin looking like it wants to kind of start to think about the reversals in the market. Yeah, it's going to be one of those. We'll keep a close eye on it, and we'll see whether or not we can rally on up. Now, if I go ahead and take the existing low that we have here, this one just here, and we'll start thinking about how high we can go. It's about 39.78, so right into this supply area. So there's kind of like a maximum level there. We can also see the 618 at about 37 cent. That's also on this supply zone area here. You can see it just about here. So we could see some form of rejection, maybe a little bit earlier as well. A double top is also possible. So it allows us to cut a little bit of progression, but just not that much. So yeah, overall, I think on these smaller time frames, I'm nervous to think about too much more progression to the upside. Now, as we kind of think about the daily chart and where things are potentially going, well, we have ourselves an interesting kind of movement. I'm still looking for lower prices here. We have a pretty good solid low at June at the moment, coming in at 28. Currently, we're looking at maybe progressing down towards the 26 cent range. And yeah, that could be an area of interest. Maybe a double bottom is also possible at 28. So yeah, I think there's a few things. Obviously, we have the 17.35. This is the J. Clayton lawsuit being dropped back in 2020. So we can see that they're good progression beforehand and then completely wiped out there. So I think for the most part, you can see that we have this trend line to the downside on the daily. Okay, this is an area of resistance as we've been coiling up and coiling down, just kind of working our way up into this area, this kind of like apex. Now, I am a little bit interested to kind of see what happens here, because we have got our 200 EMA as well, something that we've been dancing around with for a while, but not being able to kind of keep. And of course, our trend line. And yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for maybe breaking down lower here. I don't really want to see that, but it's really hard to say with everything that's going on from a fundamental point of view with the Ripple versus SEC, or the SEC versus Ripple. Now we're in 2023. I can't be terribly too much longer before we start to see that case kind of come to completion. And where we're coiling up right now, this could be an opportunity. Now, of course, we're oversold on the monthly and the weekly, but we're not really in great positions on the daily or on some of those higher time frames, 20 hour, 16 hour, 12 hour, etc. So I think we're going to have some time here, probably cool off, but we are getting into a pretty good position. There's nothing here of concern. It's all overlapping structures. There's no trends outside of kind of being below the 200 EMA. We're not in some kind of 5-wave structural move or anything like that. So it gives a lot of confidence in XRP to the upside. I think over time, I'm not overly too concerned, and yeah, I think we'll probably have to come back down to these lows, whether they are the a double bottom with a June low or just a fraction lower at 26. And then I think we're kind of, just going to be bouncing around, coiling up here a little bit more. We haven't broken this trend line. So until that happens, optimistic slightly, but nothing overly too major. I'm not looking for reversals in the market yet. And Bitcoin's still looking to target down a little bit lower. So I expect XRP to follow kind of where Bitcoin is going overall as well. So for the most part, yeah, everything here looks okay. We're looking to come down, but I would like to see that little bit further push to the upside here on our hourly chart. I want to see this kind of progression upwards, so then we can collapse down more overall. So we'll keep a close eye on it. 20% so far. If we do and are able to push up a little bit more, we'll talk about 30%, which is more in line with kind of where my mind was at initially when we started to see the reversals in the market coming, or these kind of like bear market rally kind of structures. These kind of little mini pumps on the hourly chart. So everything there's progressed quite nicely, but we do need to see some downside. And yeah, I'm just looking to see whether or not we can get this hourly chart pushed up a bit more before we can correct on down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that we will be able to kind of hit into the high 30s before we actually start to come on back down, maybe more towards the June lows around 28 to 26 cents? Really interested to know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out, guys. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7, linked in the description down below. If you're looking for more information on Elliott Wave theory, then why not check out 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝑠chool.com, running 50% off at the moment. There's a 21-part video course on Elliott Wave theory, so you get a good understanding of these videos and why I draw the waves the way that I do. Until the next one, though, guys, have a fantastic day.